Number 3, this goes in with study, but it needs its own category. Acting is body and voice. So you have to be working on physical stuff. Maybe that's just general physical fitness. Maybe that's flexibility. Maybe that's dance. Maybe that's special skills and sports skills. But it's your body and it's your voice. Your voice and your breath is your connection to your emotions. It's the key to relaxation. It's the key to imagination. If you're feeling comfortable and relaxed in your body and your breath and your voice, then you're able to get to that flow imaginative state. Whereas if you have stress and tension in your body and stress and tension in your voice, you're not going to be relaxed. So you're never going to be able to get to the point where you're able to be imaginative and also to have the concentration in the moment where you're in front of 1,000 people. There's a million things going on. There's set, there's crew, or if you're in theater, there's all kinds of stuff happening there, set tech and wardrobe changes and all this kind of stuff. So just body and voice classes. Again, one of the reasons that I love Tom's workshop is every week we had a conservatory level voice and speech teacher to run us through a proper class. And then we have those in sort of an archive that any given day we can use those, but just work on your voice, work on your body. It's like, I couldn't say it enough. It's like 90% of it. If right now you're an actor and you haven't taken voice classes, I hate to say it, but you're barely an actor, because and I'm not saying that to shit on other people. I'm saying, cause I am there, and I certainly was there, where I spent almost zero time, not almost zero time. I didn't spend any time. I felt I had a good voice cause I used it a lot, but I wasn't ever trained properly in rate, inflection, pitch and dynamics, all those kind of things, even proper vocal warm-ups. Like, how many times does someone come in to do an audition? We've all done this, where you didn't even do a vocal warm-up, and then you're supposed to be going at, like, you're going to be delivering an 11 out of 10, where you're either going to hurt yourself or you're not going to bring it because you're not relaxed. You're not in your body, and you're not your voice just isn't warmed up, so you're not going to be able to get that level of resonance. So just, I don't know, is there anything you want to add to body and voice?
Yes. I actually almost flunked out of voice class. I was so tense when I first started university. It was the first time that I was like, no, I need to get better. And I started working with the TA, and we would do one-on-one classes. So he would teach me how to do something and I would learn it. And like, it got better as it went along. It's still difficult, and there's some things that I instinctively have picked up, and like getting down to my diaphragm is fairly easy at this point. And even, I think even if you just do like a couple catch breaths, which is just, that immediately connects me with my diaphragm and my voice. Like, it immediately helps. And so like getting those quicker reactions. And so I did have a question for you, Lars. Is there a exercise that you've really liked during the Tom Todoroff voice and speech classes that you always remember?
I don't know. There's one. I mean, just even the basic. Yeah. Okay. There's one. Yeah. And this is more body than voice, but just the simple, like, I don't know if this would fall under Alexander technique, but just using and touching all of your body, just warming up your face. Like, that was like 10 seconds. Instantly, I'm right here. I'm right now. I'm fully present. Maybe a little bit more of like awareness of my space. Like that alone. If I only had 10 seconds, it would be that and some deep breaths, like probably just deep breaths. Just literally touching every part of my body in places that aren't touched, the back of my knees, the back of my elbows, some side stretches, like just to open up diaphragm, that kind of thing. I think just people underestimate it so much, and it's diction, and it's being able to wrap your words or your lips and your tongue around a lot of words. It's breath to be able to deliver the big giant courtroom speech and not have the last sentence trail off. It's learning that in life, we talk in upward inflections at the end. When we really want to drive an idea home, at the end of the sentence, we go up with it. Like it doesn't die down at the end. And a lot of times actors will sort of chew on their words, or it'll get fuzzy at the end of a line. And you're like, well, I don't even know what you said. And I think we take for granted that, because sometimes when we're auditioning, we're like, well, we know the casting director knows what I'm saying. Production knows what I'm saying. Yeah, they do. But the audience, when you say it, doesn't. So if if you don't have great diction and enunciation and breath work, or this could fall in under dialects and accents and things like that too. It's like you need to be nailing that stuff, and it's huge. And Tom talks about, again, I bring it back to Tom because we've got so many stories and examples from him, but I believe he applied to Juilliard, was not accepted to Juilliard because he was a guy from Buffalo with horrible speech and had a Buffalo accent, which doesn't really seem like a classical Shakespearean accent. And I think he was told to like go work on his voice, and went and took weekly voice classes, and then went back the next year and ended up getting in and being one of the most successful students in his class, and now goes on to be teaching voice and teaching speech to people. I just think people think that because you can talk, and it's funny because you probably never thought like, I can breathe, I talk all day.
Well, like the thing that he referenced when I got into the meeting with him was one of my journals said, "Oh, we finally started voice work today." And he was like, "You don't realize this, but we've been doing voice work this entire time." And it was just simple breathing and lying on the floor. But like, I didn't associate that with acting. And like, that's become such a core part of who I am now, is like learning the breath and learning where to space it out.
Right. Now, next is, what was that? What number are we on? We're on 3?
We're on 4.
4. Oh, wow. We gotta hustle up with these ones. So 4, my fourth one, we kind of touched on this. Maybe we'll speed it up a bit. My fourth one is honestly just live your life. You want to be like acting, and so much of this stuff, the more acting classes, the more I learn about it, they both parallel each other. All the same things to be successful in life are the same things to be successful in an actor. Like voice and speech, for example. Like people can't hear your ideas and hear your voice, you're not going to get anything done. If your body isn't healthy and isn't, like, if you're not taking care of your body, you're probably not going to feel too good, and your life's not going to be too good. So live your life, go see places, travel when you can travel. I know that's weird now, but if you can't travel digitally and tour another country via Zoom or something. Just constantly expose yourself to new opportunities and new experiences. Tom, our acting coach, one of the things he says is actors are professional human beings. So really that's what we are. It's like we're portraying all these different versions of humans professionally. So to do that, you kind of got to really know humanity and sociology and archaeology and psychology and all these things about humans. So just, I think the more informed your life is, and then also I think that helps you realize, like, if all your life is obsessed with only acting, I mean, that might work out for you, but there's a lot of other stuff happening in life that you might miss out too. So I think like for me, it's not like I'm not walking around here like I must act. It's a huge part of me and I love it, but I also love doing a lot of other things, and I like learning a lot of other things. So I think living and traveling and experiencing and taking time off, if like you could see downtime as woe was me, where are my auditions? Or you can seize the day and enjoy yourself and spend that 3 weeks on some other side project or side hustle, or God forbid, spend some time with your family. Like there's other ways to do things. So just like,
and I'll also couple that with people watch as well.
Big time.
Again, we are professional human beings.
Big time.
So just park yourself on a park bench. Just go to a mall when they're open, if they're ever open again.
Right. Or sometimes go to the Hard Knocks area of a town, like especially for some characters, man. You walk around Moss Park or somewhere like that. I mean, yeah, it's just like you'll get, or
like you're not making stereotypes, you're making real people.
Yeah, and you can see, and it also will remind you. I mean, for comedy and drama, it's like you can see the most hilarious things on a day-to-day basis just watching strangers at the mall or Young and Dundas. And you can see the most dramatic things, like you see a couple screaming and yelling, or you see a guy ranting and raving to no one. And it also reminds you, like, for any of those voices of, oh, you're too big, or that's too big, or everything's got to be small. Life is fucking crazy sometimes. You watch what people do in life, and you're like, sometimes to the point where you're like, I can't believe that guy is a real guy. Like, that guy really exists. He at some point got up in his house, maybe looked at himself in a mirror and was like, yep, I'm going with this today. And that's what he brought out into the world, where you're like, wow, that energy, that vibe.